Have you ever tried a high-carb carnivore diet? Of course you haven't. I'm the health guru, not you. I thought of it first. It's lactose and liver glycogen extract, if you were curious. I'm going to help 5 people right now, if you don't mind. So if you ever have a question about health or life in general, post it on down below. If I have the answers or thoughts in general, I will help you. Hey Casey, just started Dr. Brooke Goldner's protocol to hopefully heal my thyroid. What do you think about it? I think you tried it at some point? Yes, so sad about her son. Life can be tragically unfair and not painful. That is so sad. Just to lose your son in an accident, so young and hopeful. What would he have done in this world? I'm so sorry, Brooke. I lost my mom. I'm on your page. Life sucks, but we move on. She's handling it well. So she would say I've never tried her protocol because it wasn't perfect enough, but I tried somewhat of her protocol. I was doing like the super high flax, tons of, like I was getting in everything she wanted me to get in. It's just I added a couple things that are probably not on the protocol, like macadamia nuts were my source. I was like, come on, those are same like basic nutrient profile of an avocado. It's so similar. It's like they should be fine, but okay, I never did it perfectly. Did I notice some things? I think some okay thing. I was just so constipated on that diet. I could not handle the fiber or the fat. It just seems eating too much fat constipates the hell out of me. Some people are different, but I wasn't really supplementing with magnesium and high carb stuff like prunes. I don't know, she's not a huge fan of fruit, just a bit to flavor the smoothie. It's more of a low carb type of thing. Lots of avocados, unlimited avocados, and I was doing tofu. Like I was not perfect. I was not her ideal client. Could she have fixed me in like 10 seconds if we had one talk? Probably. I see miracles happening on her protocol, so it does something. It's just a strange one. It's a strange flax-based protocol that you would never see it in nature, but that's an appeal to nature fallacy. Like, it doesn't matter. Show me the results. And she gets results. It's just, I hate smoothies. They're gross. I hate drinking my food. I want to sit down and eat. And then you're doing all this raw kale and just the gas. I could probably handle it now. But hot damn, I'm done with these high-fat diets. I like my carbs. When I told Marcus Rothkranz about her diet, and I was like, she likes a pound or more of cruciferous vegetables and lots of fats, and it's not so much fruit. He's like, sounds kind of like what we do here. It's like, so he's on board. He liked what she was doing, and I was talking to Kara about it. She's like, she wants you having like half a cup of flax seeds or a cup. I forget what the measurement was, and she was like, really, that high? Like, she was already doing 2 to 4 tablespoons or something, but she's like, I can increase it even more. So they're aligned, and it's a decent protocol. It's just, could my gut handle it? I doubt it. I want to hear more about what men actually think about. Like, do you genuinely think about sex all day? How does that affect your relationships, loyalty? What do men wish women understood about men's brains, thinking, mentality, etc.? That's a loaded question, but I can only speak for myself. I definitely don't think about sex all day long. It's just, I can be triggered very easily just walking down the street. I see a woman, and for some reason, even though I'm very happy in my relationship, I manifested the perfect woman. I'm done. Like, we're done. It's fiance. We would be married if there wasn't weird laws and you lose your rights with that marriage certificate. We're basically married. So it's like, very happy. However, whenever I see a woman, for some reason, I'm sizing them up as a potential mate. And I cannot just erase that part of my brain. I'm looking at like, yeah, we would be a genetic match right here. Like, imagine, so like my mind goes there and I try to train it. I try to slap it back in place. Doesn't always work, but that's a man. Like, we're different. Women receive one seed and they're done, and they make a baby. Men can just do that every day to every woman, and we're meant to spread vast amounts of seeds. So like all our old kings of the past, like, oh yeah, my 90 wives did this, and we had this baby, and he lived to 900. Like, good for him. I think this world needs more conscious men who aren't just all about how can I release my seed today? How can we just waste away and just dopamine rush? And we need leaders in the field of men who are just like, you can be a better man if you like withhold that energy and then use it, draw it up your spine, and then it's in your brain, and then you go make music with that sex brain. It's like we can create magical things using that instead of wasting it like I did every day in high school, if not twice. So it's like we're not raised properly. I never had a father who was like, son, don't do that every day. You'll be tired and decrepit when you're older. It's like we need more leader men who are like high vibe beings who are like, oh, of course not. I wouldn't just waste my seed. Like we should be cherishing that seed forever. When it comes to what I wish women understood about my brain and men's thinking, it's just we're very different beings, men and women. I don't know, I haven't studied this, but just being with my fiance, I know that men think very simply. It's just very basic sometimes. It's like, yeah, I'm happy here. We're better at directions, that's for damn sure. I can get anywhere. And like my fiance would be like, oh yeah, it's this way. Look, the map. And then that's the opposite way of, I don't know what map you're reading. That just happened. All I know is this world could use a woman's touch for once. And a man-dominated world has shown us nothing good so far. So we need some creative women who are just going to make more fruit trees and stuff. Make fruit trees out of clay or something, whatever women do. And sew little knits, little skirts for trees. To the guy who asked about remineralizing teeth after 2 years of fruit, you're either snacking or eating fruits that are too acidic. If it feels like they're being worn down slow by fruit, stop eating the fruit, but make sure it's riper if possible. Watermelon, never done my teeth wrong. I don't rinse my mouth out after. I don't use any minerals or other supplements. I never brush my teeth at all. Eat fruit all day, fine. So you're not wrong. And that's what I've noticed. Like I've had a lot of tooth sensitivity on fruit-based diets. And now I'm not doing the things I used to do. I used to crave tomatoes, and it's like, okay, I'll eat a meal of tomatoes. Super acidic, like teeth-damaging foods. No, I'm not making orange juice all day. I'm not eating these like, oh, it's summertime. Peaches are in season. No, they're acidic as hell. I'm leaving those alone. I haven't had one cherry. Not this year. I'm sticking to the basics. Watermelon is fine. Cantaloupe is good. Mangoes are good. Bananas, starches, lots of greens. So it's like, you're not wrong. You can really F yourself eating unripe fruit or just acidic fruits. Apples destroy me. I remember eating 5 apples for a meal, and I was doing that like every day for breakfast. And then by like the 4th day, I was like, ow, I'm in so much pain. What am I doing? Grapes are out for me. Like, no, thank you. Subacid fruits, acid, like, leave my life. I have a feeling some people have more mineral stores in their body and they can eat these grapes and then like they rinse their mouth out and then the minerals they had go to the teeth and they repair the enamel. Whereas some of us are like deficient in certain things and then we start eating acidic things day after day and it just wears it down. So I'm paying attention to that. I make my own toothpaste. It's like a copy of Nelson's Naturals. I'll put the recipe right there. I've been doing that. I've been having success with that. And I use little remineralization drops from Uncle Harry. Boom. After a meal if you want. I forget to do that often, but whatever. So like minerals ionic attach somehow in the mouth. No guarantee. I always rinse my mouth out after meals unless I go out. And I can feel it the next day. If I go out all day and it's like, okay, I'm bringing food with me. Sometimes I'll bring dried fruit and it's like, okay, a full day of that. Like I just had that type of day. It was grapes all day and dried figs. And it was like, my teeth felt a little sensitive the next day. But we recover quick and don't repeat that same mistake. Have a little tomato dish one night, not again the next night. Give some time to repair. Come on. I moved you. Your mind unfortunately has wandered off and you're on another tab of the internet and now you're curious to come back. What happened? What did he change? You're closer now and the tunny balls are bigger. You know, camera homies. What do you think? Why? Hey, do you think the carnivore diet didn't work because you were overdoing the fat? Dude, I tried every version. Why do you think I was overdoing the fat? It was because the too much protein was effing my ass. I keep getting these carnivores saying, you shouldn't, that's why you failed. You're just like vegans. Same thing, oh, you did it wrong. I was doing just normal meat and not much fat, just a bit of fat. And it was like, why do I have this rash still? What the hell's happening to me? I'm constipated as hell. Then you read like, oh, too much protein, get constipated. And then there's a bunch of carnivore people that have written books, and it's like, you need the fat. Nora Gedgaudas, Stephanie Keto Person, there's a bunch of us. Carnivore Yogi, she had super problems on high protein. It wasn't until she upped the fat, so that's why I did it, and it didn't fix anything. I was doing like 60% fat and 70, 80, 90. I tried everything in between, man. I think you want to keep total grams of fat less than protein because it still works out to a higher percentage from fat. And I know the fat is definitely probably the key factor behind sluggish motility, yet everybody says, oh, you're constipated, just up the fat. That's all you need, just up the fat. It's like, that doesn't work. And you're like, protein, it's hard to measure. You take a ribeye steak, how much fat is in it? How much do they trim off? There's no way to know how much you're eating, so just eat real meat. Okay, eat an entire chicken, and that's like 50% protein, 15% fat, 50-50. And you feel like shit. I feel terrible on that type of diet. I get terrible acne. Too much protein F's me. And the fact that we hardly need that much protein to build strength, so it's like you're overdoing it so hard on the carnivore diet. A lot of people struggle on it. Just look for anyone on the carnivore diet saying, it's oxalate dumping, bro. That's what I'm going through right now. Yeah, that's not proven at all by anything. We make our own oxalates every day. We make them, we need them. But carnivores have no calcium, so they can't actually like get them out of their body, so they just build up. That's what happens. We make oxalates. You know that? You're not oxalate dumping, you're oxalate creating, and no way to buffer it because you can't eat anything but bones for calcium. You're gonna pressure cook bones? Dairy's not an option. Be real, we all bleed from it. And I know fat is probably the key fact. What the hell was that? You flip-flopped in that one sentence so hard. Definitely, maybe, kind of. You're not sure of anything, of any of this. Sluggish motility and blood sugar swings, because protein also converts to sugar. I think we don't want our cells to be gummed up by saturated fat. I think I made the same mistake previously with carnivore. You're still eating only protein and fat, like it's always going to be gummed up. You totally have developed insulin resistance by nature, by eating so much fat. It doesn't matter, oh, I lowered the fat on my carnivore diet. Now it's just super high protein and fat still. What are you doing? Like, yes, and my blood sugars were always high, always. Now, I don't even measure them. I don't even care. I just feel good. They're probably high. So as much as carnivores want to fault me for failing on the carnivore diet, it just doesn't work for some people. If you feel good on it, be happy feeling good. Why do you have to have everyone in the world eating your diet? I got a comment the other day saying, like, I'm no longer a fan of you because I switched the diet. Like, you need somebody to eat your exact food group every day, and then, oh, now we're like-minded. You should have seen the party I was just at. A bunch of people, it was all high-vibed people, just guided meditations, people like inventing stuff, little water homes that like are like an oil rig in the water, and it's like, holy cow, wow, like all these people, they didn't care about the diet. Everybody was on a little different diet. Stop being a monkey in a cage where you can only get along with other monkeys, you racist monkey-ass bitch. Last question. Would you ever go back to any form of cannabis use? That's a tough one. I used to love it, but I felt very paranoid and just, not paranoid, just so reclusive. I'm already reclusive. And then when I smoked weed, I was just like, I can't see anyone. At the same time, I was so creative when I used to smoke it. I was like making music all the time. I bet you if I started doing it again, I'd be like, oh man, let's make more music. And I would make some gems. But like, I don't know, man, there's a lot of health risks. Like, look up marijuana syndrome. It's a thing. It's totally bad, even though it's a plant. I don't know, man, there's something about smoking it. You can learn a lot from that plant, but eventually it learns from you. I made that up. There's no backing in science for that sentence, but It's bad news. You see people that smoke weed a lot, they have huge bags under their eyes. Just damages the kidneys bad. Acidic blood, your eyes go red. I had pink eye, still kind of do. You get weed in there, it's like, bam, bloodshot, acidic. Smoke, like what are we even doing? Damages your lungs. No, thank you. I mean, why do you think there's so many cannabis shops everywhere now? The government knows you're a loser and you'll accomplish nothing if you're stoned as hell. Nobody's fighting back against the totalitarian world that's on its way if you're stoned. So it's like, look on every block. If you think there's also a pizza, look at the people who want to control you and look what they're offering you. And then don't take any of it. You got to find the seldom little fruit shops. Oh, there's not many organic produce stores here. Why is that? Better shop there. If it's recommended by the government, run in the opposite direction after you thumb up the video. You could thumb it down if you are right now rolling a blunt with newspapers. So you're going to inhale brainwashing now? That doesn't sound like a plan. The media wants to control your mind and you're going to inhale it. God gave you breath. The media didn't. The media didn't want you to breathe for a long time. Still don't really. A lot of recommending Halloween celebrations, aren't there still? Strongly recommended on the TTC. I disagree. I'll leave after you donate Bitcoin. Subscribe for me now, say next.